Gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of Mashiach. Whoa, yeah. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yah and the faith of the Mashiach. Yo, yeah, whoa.
Shabbat Shalom, Zion. So I wanted to do something a little different today. I'm out here in Central Cali on my usual Shabbat walk. So I just wanted to talk about some things, some important things that the Most High has put upon my heart. Some things that we really need to pay attention to in these last days. And I'm telling you, Zion, we don't got long because things are happening so fast. I mean, we're truly living in the last days. I mean, I can feel it. So I'm going to do what I do best. I'm just going to speak as the Ruach leads me. And so I'm going to flip this camera around so you all can see what I'm seeing. This is not going to be a lesson. Just want to talk to you all. But it's going to be some important things that we need to discuss, Zion, because there's so much going on. All right, Zion, so let's go ahead and cut to the chase. So now y'all been noticing how this impeachment thing's been going on, right? With Trump and what have you. Now this man is getting ready to finish his term up, and all of a sudden they're coming out with the impeachment. Now that's only a distraction. I'm telling you, it's a distraction because I'm going to tell you what's really going on. And if you all been really paying attention to the housing market and what's going on, the housing market is going up all over the nation. And even in places where housing is really cheap, it's going up. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's like it's going up by 20% each month. And it keeps going up. And even land is going up. So something's happening. Something's happening that they don't want us to know. They don't want the people to panic, because they're trying to use all kinds of distractions to keep our minds off the things that are really happening. And this inflation is going to be it's increasing, and this recession is going to be so hard. It's going to make 2008 look like nothing. And y'all remember what happened in 2008, right? So when a lot of people had to foreclose on their houses and what have you. But it's getting ridiculous, Zion, and people don't see it. Our people are not paying attention. They better wake up. There's a lot of things happening. The Bible says that if you go to Isaiah 66, it talks about in verse 15, I believe, that the Most High is going to come with his angels. He's going to come with fire and fury. He's going to come with his chariots. So the Most High is just tenderizing the earth, getting it ready. I'm telling you, getting it ready for his full destruction. Because what you're seeing right now, it's just this is nothing. This is just the earth crying out. The Most High is getting it ready for the real outpouring. And if you go read the 7 seals, the seven trumpets, and the 7 vials, you'll see that none of those has happened yet. But when they do happen, all hell is gonna break loose. So those are just some things that we really gotta pay attention to, Zion. And I know many of our people are ready to go home, get the hell up on out of this piece. But we got to be patient. We got to be patient, and we got to contribute, because, sitting back, complaining, it's not going to do anything. We got to find a way to reach our brothers and sisters the best way we can, and pray to the Most High for wisdom. That's the only way we're going to make it through this, Zion. It's the only way. So as the Most High is preparing his people and getting us ready for that great day, we got to be working out our salvation with fear and trembling. So we're going to talk about some more about that, but there's something else I want to discuss too. I've been getting several emails, several brothers and sisters have been asking me, what do you think about moving to Africa? So here's what I'm going to tell you, Zion. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't move anywhere. I'm not saying, if the situation where you're at is really bad, but I will say this. If you're talking about moving to Africa, you may want to save with some money and go visit. Just take a visit And so that way you can get a full assessment of what it's really like, because I know of 3 families that went out there, not at the same time, but just, different time periods, and they came back very disappointed. Why is that? Because first of all, they didn't do the assessment, they didn't research, they didn't know anybody in Africa, and they went over there on their own impulse. So we got to be very careful. And I know it's getting hard, Zion, around here, because it's easy to go off impulse. It's easy to go off impulse and just be like, the hell with it. I'm getting out of this piece. But we got to be, the Bible says we got to be wise as serpents and harmless as dove. All right, Zion, that's the reason why the Most High gave us a brain. He wants us to think. He wants us to think before we act. And that's what we're supposed to do. So, getting back to, should we move to Africa? That's going to depend on you. If you feel like the rug is leading you to go that route, and you've done your full investigation, you've done your full assessment, and you got the means to do it, then if that's what the rug is leading you to do, then by all means, who am I to tell you what not to do and what to do? So you really got to pray for wisdom on that one. Now, for me, I wouldn't. Let me tell you the reason why I wouldn't do it. For the simple fact that the Bible says that we will be hated among all nations, not just here in America, but all nations. And so, no matter where you go, we're going to be the minority. Go read Deuteronomy 4:27-28. It says that we will be the minority among the heathen. We'll be small in number among the heathens. And that's where we're at. Small in number among the heathen, worshiping their idols. Christianity is everywhere, Zion, not just here in America, but it's everywhere. So, you really gotta pray hard about that. Now, where I'm at, Central California, it's bad everywhere. It's wicked here, wicked there, everywhere. But I'm me personally, and I don't have no intention of moving to Africa or anywhere. I'm going to wait on the Most High. Now, that doesn't say that if an opportunity comes up and the Most High opens up some doors, that's different. But I would know when that time comes. And you got to be the same way, Zion. Can't just up and jump up on impulse just because you want to do it. And that's the problem with our people. We don't research anything. We just up and do stuff. Don't even think about it. Just up and do stuff. And that's not what the Most High has designed us to do. We got to be wise. Not only that, but we got to be wise with our finances, Zion. Many of us are not wise with our finances. We're not. And this is why we're in the situation we're in. And a lot of our people don't have money, and they don't have money to move or any means to do something like that. But then you're going to try to do something like that anyway? That's a bad move, Zion. So, it's beautiful out here. I don't know if y'all can see that ship that's out there. Not a ship, but a little boat. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Y'all see this? So, this is a place out here, some trails I come to. I like coming out here because it's quiet. Nobody's out here. Not too many people know about this place. So I always like to find those places where nobody knows about. Because I like to come out here and meditate alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ocean that goes way out. So, but everything's happening for a reason. And when you look at our situation, we can't do nothing but blame our forefathers because, they put us in this situation, Zion. I mean, they passed nothing down to us. Nothing was passed down because they integrated with the heathens and they became like them. So the Most High put the heathens over us. So we can't get mad, Zion. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. We get tired. We ready to go because we're ready to go. We want the Most High to come back on our terms, but it's not going to happen because there are still many prophecies that are still yet to take place. And when I mentioned about the 7 seals, the 7 trumpets, and the 7 last plagues, I'm telling you, Zion, none of those haven't happened yet. But when it does happen, the whole world's going to know it. We're going to know it. When the true judgment of the Most High hits this place, we are going to know it. The whole world is going to know it. But some things have to happen first. And when you look at those Khazarians that are living over in Jerusalem, claiming to be us, you know, not even a tenth of closeness. But yet, they're going to have to be destroyed. The Most High is going to remove them. And once that happens, it's going to be one thing after another. But I truly believe that this economy is going to crash first. And that's what's going to really start a chain reaction in a lot of stuff. And you know, maybe that might be a good thing for our people with the economy crashing, because you know what happened in 2008 when that recession hit. A lot of people had to foreclose on their homes, so homes were selling real cheap. And even in California, there were some homes that were selling, many homes that were selling for less than $200,000. I'm talking about 3 bedrooms. So you know what I'm saying? We just got to be patient. Maybe that might be to our advantage, Zion. I don't know, who knows? And we don't really know how this thing is going to play out. All we know is that we're living in the last days. The Most High is fighting for his people. And, you know, how he's going to gather his people from the four corners, I don't know. Some people say chariots, but whatever that looks like, the Most High does not lie. He's going to gather us from the four corners like he promised. And it's going to be a horrific sight seeing something like that, because we never saw anything like that. Just imagine the firmament rolling back. That's why when it says in Revelation, when the firmament rolls back, they're going to say to the mountains and to the rocks, they're going to say, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne. Why? Because they're going to look up to the sky. They're going to see this big firmament roll back. Like I'm showing you this firmament right now. So just picture this firmament rolling back, and all of a sudden you see complete darkness, and all of a sudden you see the throne of the Most High. Can you imagine that? Something like this just roll back. You know, even I would be afraid. I'll be trying to find me a bush to hide under. But I mean, we could, because we've never seen anything like that, Zion. And sometimes the most radical things that we can even think about, if it happens, we would run frantic. We wouldn't even know what to do. If this firmament just rolled back all of a sudden, you saw the throne of the Most High. And no wonder they said that. No wonder the Bible says that when that happens, they're going to say to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from that black face that's sitting on the throne. Because all this time, they've been telling you that you worship a white God, lying. And that's why we can't trust anything that the heathens tell us. We can't trust nothing the heathens tell us. Man, I hate to fall off this cliff. It'd be a bad day for somebody to fall off this thing. Go rolling down that. Look at that. When you roll down this thing, you better grab every branch you can grab. You better be grabbing with your feet, your hands, grabbing with your stomach. You better use everything to be driving to grab these little bushes. Hang on tight, because you roll off this baby right here. That's it. You're a goner. But it is beautiful. Look at that, Zion. All that baseline down there. You see way, way out. Beautiful. Yeah, it's one of my favorite spots. I love coming to this spot. But yeah, Zion, when this thing crashes, oh, it's gonna be hell on earth. And one thing about the heathens is that if anything that they truly worship is money is their God. You take that away, they don't have nothing. And it's just a shame that our people are falling behind that, Zion. We shouldn't be following the ways of the heathens. Proverbs 3:31 says, follow not the ways of the heathen, even not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. We are not to be choosing none of the ways of the heathens, but we do it anyway. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of our brothers and sisters are putting these Patreons on their channels. I'm gonna tell you something, Zion. That is a trap. Do not go for that stuff, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna tell you why people who have Patreon and these Cash Apps and all this other stuff, their channels are going to get shut down. Let me tell you why their channels are going to get shut down. It's because they're using YouTube as a platform to get paid. But see, what we're doing, we're preaching the gospel. You cannot put money or try to get donations when you're preaching the gospel, especially when you're doing what we're doing, to the awakening brothers and sisters. And so, because there's a message that we have, brothers and sisters, we can't just get no watered down Christianity message. And I know I don't. I can't be doing that. And so what happens, that gives YouTube an excuse to come in and say, okay, you're making money off our platform, but we don't want you saying homosexual. We don't want you saying faggot. We don't want you saying that that you're better than everybody else. You see what I'm saying? So these brothers and sisters that got these Patreon accounts and what have you, that's a trap, Zion. They don't realize it's a trap, and the channels are going to get shut down sooner or later because, like I said, YouTube can come in and be like, hey, you know, you guys making money off of us, so, you know, you on our terms now, so we can shut you down. Bam. That's what's going to happen. But our people, Zion, our people love making covenants with the heathen. They just, I don't know what, and you would think after all this time we would learn our lessons, but we're still making covenants, you know. And I don't have to name no names, but you know all the channels out there that have these Patreons on their channels, these Cash Apps, these PayPals. Why? Because you're preaching the gospel. You want something for, you want to get paid for something that the Most High gave us for free. You know, what kind of sense does that make? You know, the Most High looks down on that kind of stuff. And I'm just warning my brothers and sisters. You know, if you're doing that, you should stop. If you're worried about money, get your ass off, get off your ass and go find a job or go start your business. Bottom line. But don't use the saints to try to gain for filthy lucre. I mean, our people are going through enough as it is. And it's like we have become, it's like the oppressors it's like the oppressed have become the oppressors. So I just wanted to share that with you, Zion. But those who if you got a Patreon on your channel, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Don't get sucked into it. It's a trap. Once you start getting memberships through that Patreon, you don't sign yourself. You don't sign the bad deal. Because it's going to be a matter of time before they shut you down. Because now they got an excuse. So they can't touch my channel because, first of all, the Most High says no. And first of all, I don't monetize my channel, period. Now, if there's ads on my channel, I can't control that because it's their platform. But I am not subscribed to their monetary system. You know, neither do I have any Patrons or Cash Apps or whatever. Because I realize that, you know, if the Most High, I'm gonna tell you, if you're true to your calling, the Most High is gonna bless you. And you don't. The Bible says, you know, sell not the truth. Don't sell it. We are not to be selling this word, Zion. And I don't care what form or fashion you try to wrap it up, make it pretty. We are not to sell this word. The Most High tells us that specifically. We are not to sell this word. And so, you know, I see a lot of things happening that's gonna shock some people. Catch our brothers and sisters by surprise. You know, and if you're solely depending upon YouTube to get your funds, whatever, get your little side funds, well, that's gonna come to an end soon. Because you got to compromise. When you sign up with these kind of things like Patreon and all this other stuff, you have to compromise. And that's the problem, Zion. And our people have been compromising way too long. We're compromised too much. That's what put us in this situation in the first place. And y'all know how I am, you know, about that. I don't care about subscribers. I don't care about views. I don't do this for monetary gain. You know, and I know I can be straight up sometimes. I can be brutally honest. But, you know, I'd rather give it to you straight than to water it down. You know, I'd rather open rebuke than just hiding the truth from you. You know, I'm not going to do that. And, I'll tell you all the time, before I even put something like that on my channel, I'll let this channel go. I'll shut this channel down before I do something like that. And I mean that. That's just the straight up truth, Zion. So we got to be careful, Zion, because too many wicked things out there that's going to entrap us. We got to be wise, and we got to avoid. The Bible says, abstain from even the appearance of evil. So we got to abstain from much evil as possible. You know, we got to see with the eyes of the Ruach so we can see clear. We can't see through our own eyes because if we see through our own eyes, we're going to deceive ourselves. Now, let's talk about these fires that's been going on. Now, y'all know that we had this campfire last year up in Paradise, right? And that was huge. But I'm telling you, every year it gets worse and worse. And I guarantee you, we're in the month of November, and that's exactly when it happened. I think that Paradise fire happened back in November Was it somewhere around 26, something like that? But anyway, I mean, this year is going to be president. I don't know which other place is going to burn up, but whatever happens, it's going to make that Paradise Fire look like a walk in the park. It's not going to be nothing. So every year, it's like it gets worse and worse. You know, the fire is becoming a new norm out here, and they can do nothing to stop it. The Most High is, like I said before, the Most High is tenderizing this earth. He's getting it ready for the deliverance of his people. Oh, this is beautiful. He's getting it ready for the deliverance of his people. All we got to do, Zion, is remain obedient and follow his laws, commandments, and statutes. It's that easy. You know, he says that my laws are not grievous. It's nothing hard. The Most High has never asked us to do anything that was difficult, Zion. We're the ones who like to complain and bicker and backbite, and we turn our eyes away from the Most High. You know, go read the whole book of Jeremiah. I mean, it'll blow your mind, because, you know, I was reading this morning and just reading about how our people were just constantly turning from the Most High. Just, it's crazy. And if you read, I believe it's in Jeremiah 3, I think it's 3:13 or 14, where it talks about that, you know, the Most High was telling his people that you guys all give away your heritage to every other nation but your own. I mean, isn't that not what we're doing right now, Zion? We're giving our heritage to every nation. When I say our heritage, I'm talking about our seed, everything. You know, we're marrying the heathens, intermingling with them, and we're the only people on the face of the earth that's doing that. So, where does it end? When does it end? You know, when does it stop? But, you know, looks like we're going to have to learn the hard way. We're going to have to learn the hard way. You know, we should be learning from our forefathers' mistakes. But it seems like that's not good enough. We want to continue to do the same things over and over, repeating the same mistakes. So, Zion, we can go on and on. It's just so much is happening right now. You know, a lot of stuff that can't even fit in the news. There's so much stuff going. But pay attention, though. Really, pay attention to the housing market. And the price of land is going up everywhere, all through the nation, Zion. The price of land and the housing is going up like crazy. This bubble is getting ready to pop. And they can no longer hold on to this thing too much longer. They're printing money out of thin air. This money is worth nothing. The only reason why it's worth something is because they print it out of thin air. That's it. But if this economy were to crash, it don't matter if you had a couple of stacks under your mattress or whatever. That money would not be worth anything. Nada. You know, so, you know, when it happens, you know what it say, you know what they say, Zion, when it rains, it pours. And when this thing happens, it's gonna pour. And a lot of our people are gonna be unprepared for it. And I'm not saying, you know, you need to stockpile and stuff like that, but it won't hurt to have something for a rainy day, you know what I'm saying? Have something aside for like a couple of days, maybe a week or so. Because we don't know how this thing's gonna really play out. And we know we're gonna be here until the Most High decides to come back and get us. So Zion, for the meantime, we gotta, you know, we have to make things work. We're gonna have to do the best we can. You know, keep our eyes focused, occupy until he comes. You know, that don't mean you just give up and jump ship. You know, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep whatever you've been doing to minister to your people, whether it be family members, friends, co-workers. Just keep doing that. Just keep being faithful to the Most High. The Most High is going to take care of the rest. You know? And y'all know that death among the heathens are continually rising. And something else that they're not talking about. There's a new thing on opioids. And I know y'all used to get on me about that stuff. So I'm going to say heroin. So I'm going to say heroin this time. I'm probably saying that one wrong, but I don't give a damn. But anyway, the heathens are dying left and right off that stuff. And it's crazy, but they don't want to admit it. They don't want you to know that, because if they know that we see their downfall, you know, then that's going to weaken them. That's the fall of white supremacy. That's the fall of their white privilege. But they want to try to ignore it and hide it because the heathens are so good at hiding stuff. They're very good at hiding everything that they do. They lie about everything. Everything. They lied about our history. They lied about our heritage. You know, they lie about all the luminaries. They lied about everything, Zion. They lied about everything. So you can't trust a word they say. So if they tell you that everything's okay with the economy, don't believe it. It's a distraction. And this whole impeachment thing is a distraction. That's all it is. They don't care about impeaching Trump. Don't matter because he's almost out of office anyway. Whether he gets back in or not, doesn't matter. But the fact is that they're trying to keep your eyes off of something that's really huge. It's getting ready to happen. And you know, the Most High gives us that insight and gives us wisdom and knowledge. So we all can feel it that something's getting ready to happen. So just get ready for it, Zion. Just get ready for it. And the only thing we can do is just sit back and enjoy the ride because it's getting ready to be one hell of a ride. You know, can't get no plainer than that. I wonder how far that goes. Yeah, but gotta stay in this walk, Zion. It's gonna be well worth it. I'm telling you. And the Most High says all we got to do is endure to the end. It's not the one who finished the race first, but the one who endures to the end. You know, this is not a race, Zion. It's a marathon. And you know, I've ran many marathons. I ran a 24-mile marathon, and you know, I wasn't the first one to finish, but I didn't quit. I kept on going. I wasn't the last one either. You know what I'm saying? And this is how this walk is. You know, it's gonna be a constant walk, and we're gonna have to go through some trials and errors through the way. Yeah, we're gonna stumble some. We're gonna stumble off some little rocks here and there, but you know, you get back up and you keep on going. Whether you're walking or whether you're running, you keep on going. Don't stop. So, because Zion, I can't tell you enough the exciting times that we're living in, and all this stuff right here. You know, we're due for another big earthquake right now. And no telling when the big one is going to happen. But when this thing shakes, you know, this whole wherever this fault line is, it's supposed to be a fault line about 50 miles north of here. That can break off right there. That can this all can break off right here. All that stuff can break off. You know, the Most High is just getting it ready. And you got those 12 vortices that are around the earth. Those vortices are that's what they call them. But I truly believe they were put there by the Most High because that's where all this fierceness is going to come from. You know, all them planes have been coming up missing. The Bermuda Triangle, that's one of them. But they're all over the earth, and there's 12 of them. And notice that there's 12. Now you know that's no coincidence, Zion. There's 12 of those vortices around the earth waiting for destruction, waiting to release all this destruction. And boy, that's going to be a day when that happens. And I'm so looking forward to that. And I know we all are, Zion. But you know, the Most High got our backs, and He's going to the Bible says vengeance is mine. So the Most High is going to do it because we don't got to go out and bash no heathens upside the head. That's not what the Most High told us to do. But the Most High is going to do it. We're going to sit back and we're going to see them fall like flies. You know, read Psalms 91. You know, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it should not come nigh thee. And when you look at the plagues that happened in Egypt, you know, our people were living in Goshen, and not one plague touched our people. Not one. You know what I'm saying? Not one plague touched our people. Our people were completely safe from the plagues. That's because the Most High was protecting His people. And so, I almost tripped. Caught in the bush. But the Most High was protecting His people, and He's going to do the same thing in these days. So Zion, we should not be worrying about those kind of things. You know, people like to say, well, we shouldn't rejoice because it's going to be a day of gloom. Well, yeah, it's going to be a day of gloom, all right, but not for us, not for those who are truly seeking the Most High, but for the heathens. It's going to be a day day of gloom. You better believe that. So it's one thing you better get ready for, because it's happening. And just because you don't see all the heathens dying off at once doesn't mean that the Most High is not judging this place. You know, the Bible says in Deuteronomy, when you go to Deuteronomy 7, 20 and 21, it says little by little he's going to put out the heathens, little by little. So it's going to come, Zion. We just got to be patient. And just because it's not happening when you want it to doesn't mean it's not happening. So we all have our different walks of life, our different jobs. We all scattered to the four corners. And the brothers and sisters that are listening to this are from all over the world. So your situation might not be the same as mine or somebody else's. You know, you may live around a bunch of heathens and they live in all big houses like I do. They live in all these rich houses and stuff and don't seem like nothing's happening. But I know it is. Or you may be somewhere vice versa, you know. So, you know, Zion, it's happening. We just got to open our eyes and do a little research. We're going to have to dig, because we can't depend upon the news media to give us those things. We got to research it ourselves. And there's many articles out there on this drug overdose, on these suicide rates that are going up. You know, all this catastrophe that is going on around the world. It's getting worse and worse. And they are getting scared. Why do you think that they're doing all kind of stuff? You know, my mother sent me something this morning. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was something about them putting chemicals in the food. And they've been doing that for a while. And you look at this new Popeye's chicken they came out with. Our people were going crazy over that stuff. You know, and of course, you know, come on, Zion. You know that was a test run, right? You know they did that on purpose because they knew that a lot of blacks were going to go eat that chicken. So they probably put some kind of brainwashing chemicals in that chicken. Some kind of brain control serum or something, because you know the technology they got is off the chains now. So you know they can implant stuff in you through food. And I have not eaten one of those chickens. Don't plan on it. You know, I try to stay out. I stay out of those fast food restaurants. Try to stay out of restaurants. Period. Make my own stuff. But yeah, well, they've been trying to kill us for the longest time, so it's no big secret. We know it's out there. We know they've been trying to do this for a long time. But I just wished many of our people would wake up and just get some common sense, because you know how long we're going to continue to go to these Asian hair shops and these other places where they just beating our people up, shooting our people down. But we keep doing it. It seems like we don't get enough. It seems like we don't learn our lessons. We just keep repeating. But we don't want to make no changes. And all the Most High wants us to do is repent and turn from our wicked ways. That's it. If we just do that, it would have been came. And the Most High deals with us as a whole. He doesn't deal with us. He deals with us individually, but you know He's always dealt with us as a whole. You know, we should know this by now. So, you know, I think I've said enough. I can go on and on, but I just want y'all to get the picture, Zion. We got to turn from these wicked ways, and we are our brother's keepers. So yes, we have to start holding our people accountable. What's happening? You know, if you see something and then you don't say nothing, then you're allowing it to happen. You know, we gotta check our brothers and sisters. We gotta correct them. It's the way you do it, but we just gotta correct them. So let me get close to this part. So with that being said, Zion, you know, hang in there. This is no time to be jumping ship. Not to be getting weary. The Bible tells us not to get weary. All right. So we just gotta hang in there and hang tough, because it's gonna get tougher, whether you like it or not. It's gonna get a lot rougher. So, with that being said, Zion, I'm gonna say shalom. I will say Shabbat shalom, and stay strong. There's the last little image here before I go offline. I pray that you all are having a wonderful Shabbat, because I know I am. All right, Zion. Until next time, Shabbat shalom and stay strong.
Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they to keep the commandments of the Yah and the faith of the Mashiach. Oh, yeah, whoa. to encourage you, brothers and sisters, trying to paint to you a better picture. Everything I say, I back it up with the scriptures to get you out the matrix. It's been over 400 years of lies. You gotta open up your eyes, 'cause there's so many reasons we in captivity. You gotta flee from the heathens. There is hope in our future, even though they trying to do us in. But we live to fight another day. Vengeance is to Yah. We'll be praying for Yahuwah. Gotta thank Yahuwah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Whoa. Here are they to keep the commandments of Yah, and the faith of Mashiach. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. I gotta thank Yahuwah for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they to keep the commandments of Yah, and the faith of the Mashiach. Oh, oh, hey, hey, whoa, whoa. Do, do, da, da, da. Do, we, do, we, do, we, do, da, da. Do, we, do, 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 da, da. Do, 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 da, do. Be, do, da, do, 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 da, 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 da. Do, we, do.